If you are sitting section A of the GAT this year, this video has been put together for you to give you a really clear sense of what is going to be expected of you in the writing task section of it. We're going to take a detailed look at the criteria so you can get a sense of what exactly do they want me to do with this task. We're also going to take a look at what it has looked like in previous years so that you can get a sense of feeling really confident about being able to go in there, knowing what kind of skills you're going to be assessed on and how you can put your best foot forward. I've split the 7 criteria for this task into 2 distinct groups. And the reason that I've done that is so that you can have a think about how you're being assessed and what particular skills are being assessed here. The first group is the more sort of global way of looking at overall across your writing. What are these things that can appear that, sort of come to life as you write? As you'll see there, we are looking at audience and purpose, structure and cohesion, and ideas. And so these aren't things that just appear once or twice throughout the piece. You've got to make sure that you are clear with who you are writing for, why you're writing the piece, and the sort of things you want to say throughout your piece. The 4 remaining skills are about the technical side of writing. They are the rules, so to speak. So if you take a look at them there, we've got grammar, spelling, vocabulary, and punctuation, all very technical sides of how we write. Now, the main thing with this is that I don't want you to be intimidated by this and thinking, oh, sometimes I make a spelling mistake or sometimes my punctuation's not perfect, so does that mean I'm going to fail the task or anything like that? It doesn't. It's not there for you to be perfect with this. It would be great if you are, but it's not there as a way of the minute you make a mistake, the whole thing's over. It's about, can you use the simple rules of writing in order to express yourself really clearly? So if you are writing complete, correct sentences, if you are using commas when it's appropriate, if you are using full stops, capital letters to start off your new sentences, capital letters for proper nouns and basic rules like that, then you are meeting these criteria. If you are able to spell in a way where your meaning is coming across clearly, even if there are a few slips, then you will still be meeting that criteria. And so that's how you need to be thinking about this. With your vocabulary, it's not about you being able to use these words that barely anyone in the world knows. It's about, can you express yourself in a way that isn't repetitive, only using very simple terms? Can you use a wide range of words, terms, and phrases in order to express yourself? Now, at the top end of all of those criteria are going to be students who do this extraordinarily well, who are very creative and complex with their sentence structures and their punctuation, and they're going to use these really interesting words, then they spell them correctly, and so they ace this out and they do fantastically well with it. And that's fine. But if you're sitting there thinking, well, I don't think I'm that student, I don't want you being intimidated to the point where you think, oh, I'm going to fail this test. There is room there in the criteria for you to just be able to show that you can write and express yourself clearly. If you find yourself worried about this task, what I really want you to think about is that it is quite clear in its goals. What it is asking from you is to say, can you take on some sort of a persona, pretend that you are a person that is writing with a certain purpose about an issue? Can you connect with the audience that you've been told to connect with? And from there, can you express yourself really clearly? That doesn't mean you have to write Shakespeare. That doesn't mean you have to write something that's going to blow the assessor off their feet and think, wow, this is the most creative and brilliant thing I've ever read. What is being assessed here is your ability to write in a really clear and expressive fashion. And if at the end of your piece, someone can read it and clearly understand what you were looking to achieve, then you will have met these criteria. There are 2 parts to the section A writing task, part 1 and part 2. What's really important is that you understand how you can spend your time wisely and that you follow the instructions here. Part 1 is a 10-minute task, so it's not going to be a lengthy piece of writing. Part 2 will be related to part 1 in that it'll be a part of the same world that is being created. I'll give you some examples of that later. But it will be asking you to meet a slightly different purpose, maybe even for a different audience. It'll be asking you to write a different type of piece. All that this means is that at the end of the 30 minutes, if you spend 10 minutes on the first one, 20 minutes on the second, you are looking to meet those same criteria that we just mentioned for both pieces. So make sure that you have completed both. Don't just think, oh, I'll do a really good job of one and not the other. You need to put, the required time into both of them. And make sure that you are meeting those criteria and seeing the differences between what's being asked of you in either section. What I've put together here is a table that shows the different ways that this task has been completed. Now you can look these up by Googling previous GATs and going through and looking at these writing sections. It will really help you get a sense of familiarity. That's what you want to have before the GAT. Walking in feeling really confident about, I don't know the exact details, but I know the type of thing that's going to be asked about me here. In 2022, it was about e-scooters. There was this world where they had created these e-scooters and they were being trialed in a small town. And as you can see there for part A, it was saying write about how to ride an e-scooter for somebody who's never ridden one before. There's a video that I've done that you can take a look at that shows a sample piece of this and which will really give you some fantastic ideas. You'll notice that part 2 was about writing a guide for riders about why the rules exist. I want you to be really clear there in seeing the understanding of where piece 1 differs from piece 2. They are different audiences, different purposes, but still there within the same world. The same thing happened in 2023. There was a world of these solar powered benches. I've put a video together with a sample piece for that as well, so you can get a sense of it. But the first piece was asking you to provide some feedback to the council. So when we talk about audience and purpose, they're always clearly given to us there. The audience was the local council, the purpose was provide feedback. Staying in that world, part 2 in 2023 was still about the same issue, but the audience and purpose changed. This time they wanted you to write an opinion piece and to obviously think about that being in a local paper and who that audience would be there. One thing you should feel really good about looking at those previous year's pieces is, okay, I get an understanding of who I'm being told to write for and the purpose that I'm looking to meet. If I keep those things front of mind and then write really clearly in response to both of them, then I'll be setting off in the right direction. If I keep 10 minutes for the first piece and then a lengthier piece for the 20-minute part 2, then overall I'm going to have given this a really good shot. All the best with your writing. Take a look at the other videos if you feel that they can help you out. There's sample pieces that put all of this advice into context. Good luck.